Okay, we're back with grade 3, module 1, lesson 13. And the learning target is I can interpret the quotient as the number of groups or the number of objects in each group using units of 3. Remember to continue to practice your skip counting, and I wanted to do a quick review on our division vocabulary. Remember, the first word here is quotient, and that is the answer to a division problem. The second word is dividend. That is the total number that will be divided out equally. And when your division problem or equation looks like this, the dividend is in the beginning. That's your total number. Divisor is the number that does the dividing, like the boss. That's here. Inverse operations are multiplication and division are inverse operations. The operation that reverses the effect of another. So that's saying that 20 divided by 4 equals 5, but 5 times 4 equals 20. So I can go backwards and realize that those are inverse operations. Let's take a look at what this problem is asking us here. This one says, solve the multiplication equations below, then rewrite them as division equations. So the first one says 2 rows of 3 or 2 groups of 3 equals, and we know that equals 6, right? Because if I counted by 2, I would say 2, 4, 6 and stop after I get to the third one. So let me write 6 here. Okay, so if I want to write if I wanted to do this as a division problem, I would start with the total number, which is 6, and say 6 divided by 2 equals 3. If we look down below, we can see that we have 5 times 3, well, 5 groups of 3, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, that's 15. And if I wanted to rewrite that as a division equation, I would start with 15, and I could say 15 divided by 5 equals 3, or I could actually say 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Let's look at this one. This one says 3 times 3. I know 3 groups of 3 is 9. Don't make the mistake of adding those. Remember, it's 3, 6, 9. We're counting by threes. Starting with the total number when you do division, so 9 divided by 3 equals 3. Take a look down below. We have 9 groups of 3, or 9 times 3, and that would be 27. I would skip count by 3 9 times. And then when you want to write a division equation, you would write 27. You're going to start with the total number divided by 9, and that will equal 3. And I know I have it correctly because I know that 9 times 3 equals 27. Let's take a look at this one. This one is a story problem, and it says Mark spends $16 on 2 video games. Each game costs the same amount. How much does each video game cost? So what we know here is the total amount he spent, which is $16, and how many video games he bought. So 2. So we basically know the total amount and one of the either factors. When you're talking about multiplication, you could say, well, 2 times what number equals 16, or skip count until you get to 16. But what I do know is it is division. So we're taking 16 and we're dividing it. Dividing it by 2. Oh, I do that all the time. So let me grab the pencil and do 16. Divide it by 2, these 2 video games. And I can skip count by 2 until I get to 16, and you end up with 8. So I know that each game costs $8. Okay, so for the next one, it says 3 students equally share a pack of 12 pencils. How many pencils does each student get? So we know there are the 3 kids and we know the total number. So I can start with the total number since I have it, and I can say, oops, this is going to switch again. I can say 12 pencils divided among these 3 kids equals. And I can think in my brain, well, 3 times what number equals 12? Or I can use skip counting 3, 6, 9, 12. And I would say, oh, okay, that's 4. So each student gets 4 pencils. One kid gets 4, the next kid gets 4 more, so that's 8, and the next kid gets 4 more, so that's 12. Okay, so when we see something like this, we know a few things. We have 3 people or 3, like say paper plates, 3 of something. That's what these stand for here, right? These 3 sections. And we know that there are going to be 3, 4, 5 things per section. So I can even draw those in by either putting circles or zeros. I'm just gonna put hearts because that's what my stamper I had out. So I'm going to finish filling this in. And if you are doing this at home, you could use scrap paper, anything really. And they want us to come up with some kind of a word problem along with a division equation. So for division equation, what I already know is you always want to start with the total number. And since I finished filling my chart in, I now know that I have 5, 10, 15 as my total number. So I would start with 15. And remember, I divided them equally among 3 people or 3 plates, whatever you want. So I would say, divided among these 3 plates, and that would equal 5 items per plate. That was the easy part. Now, if I'm going to do a word problem, I could start by saying I have 15 pencils. I give 3 students an equal number of pencils. Each student would get 5 pencils. Or I could